Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of These Homestead. My name's Derek, and today we're going to be doing a quick orchard slash garden update since I haven't done one yet this year. So come along with me and let's go check things out. Now I know if you watched last week's episode, and if you didn't, you should have. Why didn't you? I'll have it linked here at the end. You can click on it there, go back and watch it. It's how to tell the difference between black raspberries and blackberries. And let me tell you something. I am surprised the number of people that don't know the difference between the two. Go watch that video. You'll see what I mean. You might have been one of those people that were calling black raspberries blackberries when really they're not blackberries or black raspberries. Or you might be one of those people that were calling blackberries black raspberries, or the other way around, whichever. So all right, so let's go check out. We're going to do the orchard first since it's closest. So this is one of the Stark Brothers trees that we got this year. This is the Anjou Pear Dwarf Supreme. And as you can see, it's coming along nicely, I think. All right, and then we'll come over here. This is another pear over here. This is the Starkling Delicious Pear Dwarf Supreme. This one's really came along nice. There's a lot of new growth on this tree. These ones pretty much were about just a stick whenever I planted them. This one ended right down here, if you can see it, whenever I planted it this year. So this is all new growth there on the side. So I'm really impressed with that tree. And something's been getting at some of these leaves. See how they're turning black there and curling there at the end. I'm not sure what that is. If you have any idea, feel free to shoot me a message. Almost looks like Japanese beetles or something have been eating at some of those leaves in there. So I'm not sure. Okay, now these are the only ones that I got that they're doing good, but I'm sort of disappointed. Stark Brothers, if you're watching this, sort of disappointed a little bit in the tops of these trees. They must have had some sort of a disease, and whenever I planted them, you couldn't see it, of course, but now that they're growing and getting leaves on them, you can. So this is a Contender Peach, and if you look here, the top of the tree is completely dead. The rest of it looks amazing down below, but the top here is completely dead. And it was only my two peaches that did this, because when you come over here, this is the Red Haven peach, and it's the exact same way. Dead at the top. It looks really nice down there at the bottom, but the whole top of it's just totally dead. So Stark Brothers, that's my only complaint so far with you guys. Those two peach trees, for some reason, the tops of both of them are completely dead. I don't know what my best bet is. I don't know if my best bet's to trim that off and just let it start from where it's at, where I know it's good, or I don't know. Leave me a comment down below if you think that's my best bet, or is my best bet just what I've been doing and just leave it be, and let's see what happens. Okay, so Honeycrisp apple tree. This is an older one. This isn't one that I just got this year. This one's been here for a couple years. Unfortunately, I was really hoping it would be loaded this year with Honeycrisp apples, but we had a late frost and I didn't get any Honeycrisp apples. I do, on the other hand, though, have one really nice looking, it's supposed to be a Red Delicious apple. We'll see. This tree was the one last year, if you remember right in the video there that I did towards the end of last year. This tree had started to come out last year, and then we had a really late frost, and it pretty much put the tree back into dormant stage, and it wasn't until the fall that the leaves had finally even came out last year. So I wasn't sure. whether the tree was completely dead or not dead. So luckily I didn't take it out, because this year we can definitely see it's not dead. It definitely has some potential. So see what happens. This is Macintosh, and I was really hoping again that it was going to have some nice apples on it this year. It does have some Japanese beetles on it, but no apples. We'll see. Maybe next year. Those three right there, they blossom so early that every year they pretty much get hit with a last minute frost or a snowstorm or something like that. And please don't judge me by the grass growing up around those trees. I had a health issue earlier this year, a couple months ago. I'm still technically not allowed to like weed eat and that kind of good stuff yet, but I'll be honest with you, it's getting really hard to stay listening to that. And I think soon, hopefully my family doesn't watch this, but I think soon I might have to break that just a little bit. Even if I just come out and like trim around one apple tree one day and then come out the next day and put mulch down around it, and then maybe wait a day or two and then come out and do another one. Something, I don't know. It's driving me nuts not being able to do something. So soon, maybe, we'll see. All right, so this is a Ben Davis. It's a Ben Davis certified organic apple. This one I got from Stark Brothers this year too. And if you can look at that, I mean, that thing is doing awesome. Again, I need to get the weeds removed and get mulch and stuff here around it. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I know, listen to my doctor, I got you. Oh, something was in my corn. Okay, we haven't made it down there yet. Okay, so this is a Starkling Red Delicious. This thing also was just planted this year. Got from Stark Brothers Nurseries. It's doing pretty decent. Has a little bit of stuff right here, but we've been in a drought this year, so it looks like a little bit of bugs. And just the fact that we haven't had a whole lot of water. And I don't know. I know this isn't what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to water them like whatever every day or something for the first 50 years or something that you have an apple tree. I know that's not true, but it's like for the first year or something. You're supposed to try and water them all the time. I don't know. I had a person tell me one time to, I don't know, sort of the way I was raised was, if you're not going to water it every day for the rest of its life, why are you doing it the first year? So I know there might be tons of reasons why, and you can let me know in the comments down below. But anyhow, I just sort of let it do its thing and then see what happens. So, okay, this one is a Northern Spy. This was the last one that I got in this year and got to get planted. Definitely has leaves and stuff, and it's definitely grown some. Not quite as impressive as like the Ben Davis over there, but it's done pretty decent. Okay, so let's go check out the garden here. Like I said, something definitely got in. I don't know what. Doesn't look like it did a whole lot of damage, but definitely did some damage to my corn. Always keep handy dandy little wire snippers here. This is what I'm using to secure my garden. Just got to make sure you clip the right ones. And then you can open the garden and go on in. Okay, so we put the woven fabric down this year. This is our first year really doing it to where we did the woven fabric across the whole garden. And me personally, I'm loving it because it really hasn't been bad at all to weed. So here's one thing that I want to tell you. So if you're one of those people who's sitting at home saying, I really want to get into gardening, but I see all these people that have sunk like thousands of dollars into their garden and I don't have that kind of money to do that, or they've sunk hours and hours and hours into their garden, and I don't have the time to do that. I'm with you. I understand. Like, I don't have the money to sink thousands of dollars into raised beds and all that stuff all throughout my whole garden and all the other crazy stuff that some of these places are doing. So here's what I want to tell you. If you look really, really close, like a pack of seeds from Stark Brothers. Let's do this. So at your local grocery store, I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say that one tomato, just one tomato, and yes, I know I don't have a tomato in my hand. It's an imaginary tomato. One tomato is going to cost you like $1.50. I've seen them as high as like $3. So $3, $1.50. Let's just say $1.50, right? So $1.50 for one tomato. A pack of seeds, of tomato seeds, has at least a minimum of 25 seeds in it. That pack of seeds costs you $3, maybe $4, depending on what you get, right? So 25 plants is going to get you just a ton of tomatoes. Go buy that pack of seeds instead of buying that 1 or 2 tomatoes. Go buy a pack of seeds and plant just a couple. You don't even need 25, not in a year. Unless you're doing a lot of canning or something like that, you don't really need 25 tomatoes. I started this year with 32. Why? I have no clue. Just because that's what I grew. I wanted to see if I could do it, and that's what I grew, so that's what I planted. I don't sell them at the market or anything yet. Not saying I won't eventually, but I don't right this second. But I love tomatoes. I'll eat a bunch of them. I'd like to do some stewed tomatoes this year. I might. We'll see. Who knows? But anyhow, you see people when they get these cages or they build these fancy trellises and they spend all this money on that stuff. And I know people are going to go crazy and tell me that this isn't the right way to do it and you can't do it this way and all that good stuff. But if you look, there is no trellis. There is no nothing. That tomato plant's just running out across the top of the tarp and turning and heading up. And if you look right there, you'll see, yep, what is that? It's tomatoes. So you don't have to have those fancy trellises. You don't have to have those fancy tomato cages. I'm not saying that that stuff hurts. Don't get me wrong. Don't say that. I saw on Dee's Homestead and he said that it doesn't matter if you have any of that stuff. No, that stuff all helps. It's just, unfortunately, with my health stuff this year, I didn't have time to get these up. Next year, mine probably will be up off the ground. But this year, they were so bad by the time I finally got a chance to get them in the ground, I just needed to get them in the ground. So if you look, here's another one. Like, look, it comes up out of the ground right here and instantly just bends over and then just goes out across the ground. And if you look there, there's tomatoes all over it. There's tomatoes all over that one. There's tomatoes over all of these. Just get them in the ground. Something's gonna happen. Okay, I'm not a big fan of peppers, but my sister planted a bunch of different peppers. I don't even know what kind they are. They're just peppers. Some of these she bought at a store, but the rest she started from seed. Like this one, same thing. If you look, it comes up, bent over, and then grows. I don't know what kind of peppers they are. I don't eat peppers. Let me look and see if I can still read her. Nope, can't even read her tag that she had put in. Okay, then next over here, we got beans. Some of these got put in pretty late. These ones down at this end got put in pretty late because if you look, see all those empty holes? These were all empty holes too. And then we replanted and got them going. But if you look here, these are some of the original ones that came up. And they're looking pretty nice. So hopefully, before long, we'll have some beans. And we'll be able to come out and get some beans. But we'll see what happens. Okay, then this was planted for my daughter. Zucchini. So, daughter, if you're watching this, your zucchini's starting to come on pretty good. So, soon, you're gonna need to come pick some zucchini. Yeah, depending on how big you want them to be, you might need to consider coming to pick some here fairly soon. Some of them are pretty decent sized. Okay, then we have some pickling cucumbers over here. And there's definitely some starting. So we'll see what happens. If you look, there's a nice little tiny pickling cucumber right there. Looking good, looking good. Again, remember, I got my garden in really late, so we'll see. I'm surprised I'm even getting anything this year, but I'm glad that I am. Okay, so this was where we had planted the Market More 76 cucumbers. And as you can see, we didn't get any. So then we replanted them, and as you can see, we still didn't get any. So Baker Creek, if you're watching this, Market More 76, I don't know. I didn't have any luck with them this year. Doesn't mean there was anything wrong with them. Maybe something got in here and got them. I don't know. But I had no luck. So we'll see. What I did have some luck with, and what I think did half decent for as late as I got it in and all the more rain we've had this year, so far at least it's looking half decent, is this. This is also from Baker Creek. This is the Fisher's earliest sweet corn. Normally it gets a lot taller than that from what I was told at least, but like I said, it was really late before I even got my garden in the ground. So I'm surprised I have anything so far. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that we're gonna get some corn. We'll see. Hoping, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if you come and look back over here, definitely looks like something big was in here and knocked over those two plants. I don't know what it was though, because I don't really see any damage on here. Unless it's just the wind. It could have been just the wind. The wind might have knocked it over. Like I said, I don't really see any other damage on there, so maybe it was just the wind. I know we did have some good storms here in the past day or two, so it might have just been that. All right, and that's pretty much it for the garden for this year. I'm thinking about doing I had a conversation at an event that I went to here not that long ago. I had a conversation with the NRCS, and she was talking to me about their high tunnel program. So I'm thinking this might be a good spot for a high tunnel. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you're thinking. Would this be a good spot for a high tunnel? Do you think I should get a high tunnel? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. So I'm thinking about doing some farmers markets. So if I got the high tunnel, I could start growing a little bit earlier. Get tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff like that a little bit earlier. And I can tell you, one of the biggest things that I saw from going around to some of the different farmers markets, one of the biggest things I saw that they're lacking, that nobody has for sale, is blackberries and black raspberries and raspberries. Nobody has any of that stuff there for sale. Everybody has cucumbers. Everybody has zucchini. Everybody has pickling cucumbers. Everyone has tomatoes. Most of them have corn. But nobody has berries. Or black raspberries. Or raspberries. Some of them have peaches. Nobody has any apples. I know it's sort of early for apples, but I don't know. Just seemed like there was a lot of stuff that people could have that they didn't have. Hey, and also, if you watched the video whenever I was originally doing the cheap fertilizer for the garden, or the free fertilizer for the garden, if you remember that video, if you saw it, if not, go back and look at my video playlist. Went and paid the neighbor for getting the horse manure from him for the garden. And I would say that the horse manure actually helped some. Like I said, I don't know. It was pretty late by the time I got my garden in, so I'll be surprised if I get anything. So here, give me 1 second and I'm gonna go show you what I did to repay the neighbor. You'll like this. On our way over here to show you what's going on, what I did to help my neighbor, stopping and checking out. Oh yeah. Definitely some blackberries here that need picked. Very good. Oh yeah, look at all those. Look at that nice blackberry right there. Nice size blackberry. I was just out here and picked those yesterday. Man, the flavor on that one was pretty good. Just out here yesterday and picked those. And they need it again already. So, if you remember right, out there in the field you can see the RK55 tractor. I have that sitting there with the grapple on the front of it, the brush hog on the back of it. My neighbor called me up and said, hey, I need some help. Can you bring your tractor over? I have this cherry tree that I had cut down and I need to get it out of my yard. So that's considered paying somebody back, getting free firewood. And don't get me wrong, he's still going to get more payback than that. But yeah, I took the tractor and the grapple over there and cleaned up these logs and brought them over here. So now they're going to get cut up and used for firewood. Good deal, right? Helped him out, got rid of some wood that he wanted out of his yard, and I got some firewood out of it. All right, hey, if you like this kind of content, hit that like button, click subscribe, share this video with your friend. And oh, by the way, if you watched last week's video and you wondered why I didn't do the video I said I was going to do for this week, we were supposed to do how to make blackberry jam, and that's not the video that you're getting today. I know. Hopefully next week I'll have it all edited and you'll get that one next week. So stick around, stay tuned, and catch you on the next episode. Have a good day.